So this is the start of the downswing. This is where everything kind of starts to fall apart a little bit for you. And I think this is where you're going to make the most improvements. First thing you're going to notice with Zach is that he's going to bump his hips out. Watch that motion right there. It's a very subtle motion, but what he's doing is he's really trying to transition his weight onto his left foot. Now watch what happens. I'm going to pull your hip sway number out here. I'm going to pull your shoulder sway number out as well. Watch what happens. You stop moving your hips as you come down to that impact position. We're basically just not getting your body to move towards the ball as much as we need it to. Hip sway should be around 3.1 inches moving towards the target as we're coming down into impact. Notice the difference in your leg. Watch, look at all your feet. All that weight's still on your right foot. Even though you're transitioning that weight, it's way too late at this point in the swing. And then now look at your head. You just fought back getting back to zero. So I mean, you're okay there. That's fine. You've got your shoulder sway proper, but your hip sway is down. So if we can get the hip sway correct, you should start to make slightly better contact as you come through. So definitely want to focus on trying to fix that a little bit more. And that should help with getting rid of that heavy contact that you're having with almost all your clubs, especially with like your hybrids, woods, driver, and more importantly the irons. And even the chipping as well. If the hips aren't moving towards the target, you're just not going to get any sort of great contact. And that's paramount to getting out of the rough. And we were just discussing how tough it is for you to get out of the rough. It's something you struggle with. So if we can get that a little bit better, you're going to be in great shape. The other aspect that we're having is something called early extension or early release. So this is essentially the movement of the club from the hinge position up at the top of the swing to the extended position on the downswing. If you look over here with Zach, notice how when he starts his downswing, that club head stays very, very hinged up at the top. And then watch what happens with you. You can see how you're already starting to flick that club away really, really far. And what ends up happening is that you get into this extended position before you even hit the ball. Look at where your hands are. Notice how your hands are not forward of the golf ball at impact. You're actually stacked right on top of it. That's what's going to cause your heavy contact issues when you're coming down with like a lot of your clubs. And if you look at like Zach here, if I drew that line straight up, look at where his hands are at the moment of impact. They're going to be forward pressed. So he's going to have that angle of attack is going to be moving downward through the ball, and he's going to be decreasing his spin loft by quite a bit. So this is what's going to increase the amount of power. The distance is going to increase. You're going to decrease the spin. You're going to get a lot more out of your shots just by doing this one little motion.